See, longest common subsequence or subsequent means what? That say there is a string and you are checking, and there are two strings. Okay. You want to find whether part of one string can be considered as a subsequent or subset of another string or not. Okay. So you will understand whether it is top down or bottom up. Let us explain it. Let me explain it. Then if you draw the tree, then only see. If I go for the LCS and if I first will go for the recursive tree maybe. So for the function of recursion, things are in bottom up approach. Things are in bottom up approach. But if I go for dynamic one, that's not bottom up. So it means that two strings are there. Generally what we do that we take the string which is of smaller length and we try to find that how much it is same for the next part, means in the other string how much it is present. Now when you are checking that, if say you are finding say A B C D A B, this is a kind of string, and say your string is A C D, so you are finding the match here, then not necessarily the very next letter has to be matched. C. Then the next letter is matching this. Okay. So this is ACD. Now, only ACD, you may take only A, that is also subsequence. If you take AC, that is also subsequence. If you take CD, that is also subsequence. But which one is longest? Now, for this example, ACD is longest. That means what? You are not supposed to do any kind of sorting of these available characters that she was trying to tell. That's not the thing. You need to match the thing. You need to match the thing one by one, not necessarily that they are in the continuous manner. There may be gap, but the order means it will never happen. Say here one U is here and you, at the beginning of the string U is here. It will never go there and match. So this is not allowed. But if U is present here, that is allowed. Okay. So this is the concept of LCS or longest common subsequence. Now, if we want to do this, let us take two very small string. One is say ABCD and another one is say B and D. Okay. So what you need to do, you are trying to find the match. This is B. Okay. Then this will be D. Okay. Rest of the two is not matching. That is also fine. So if I consider them as a string, so you may say that they are ended with the null and all. Now, you as a human, you can see the things and you can decide. But for your system, you have to think about a program or the algorithm. So the basic or the naive approach, that's the very basic, that how we can do this. We can use a function like this way, that if a match is found, say this is your A, this is your B, both the string, and this is pointed out, all the index positions are pointed out by I, and this is pointed out by J. Fine. So if you are, every character of this is identified by A of I, and every character of this string B will be identified by J. So you can go in this way, that if both are equal, then you can return 0, and you can, means if both are equal, you can proceed. Both are equal, then you can proceed. But if one is, means if it's not equal, then you are not supposed to go move forward. If equal, then it's okay. If it's not equal, then you should. And if they are reaching the null, that is the any of the string is reaching the null, that's one of the string is ended, then there is no meaning of checking. You are continuously go on checking and checking. First you are starting with the b, you are trying to find the b is, no, it's not matching. Okay, so in the next case, what you need to do, you need to check this character with this one. Now once this match is found, then you can increment the j. Otherwise you will just increment the I and to try the match wherever it is possible. Okay, and that will continue till you reach the end of the string. So you can try with this, that you can take this function LCS ij, then what I am telling, if it is null, then it will return 0. So you can take that if a of I equals to null, or b of j equals to null, then what? Then return 0. Okay. Next, if not, most of the time at the beginning that will not happen. Else, if you find a of I equals to b of j, means this situation, this b, well, kind of at any point that is matching, then what you will do? Then it will return what? It will return 1 plus LCS. See, this is the function name basically, I plus 1, j plus 1. So what we are doing, if the string is matching, then why this one? Because this one is basically for what? This one is indicating that the length. Length is a count, na? It is in, that's why it's returning you the count. So this is 1. 1 is added. The moment you will find the match. And once the match is found, so once this B to B is matched, then you need to increment the J, and obviously you will check for the next character. So I will also be incremented. So that's why it's I plus 1, J plus 1. Else you need to return max of what? Max of either I will be incremented or j will be incremented. So if I say LCS, if I am incrementing the I, then I comma j comma LCS, j will be incremented. Okay. This is the thing. This is the entire thing that we can apply here. How it's proceeding? Let's take, so from where they have started the 0 index, so this is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and this is 0, 1, 2, so this way. So you may start with 0, 0, A0, B0. Every time you need to do this. Okay. So the first thing is that what is the content of A0? A0 is A. What is the content of B0? Now that is B. Okay. So are they matching the first if condition? No. Are they matching the second if condition? No. So they will come to here. So what it do? If no match, then two child supposed to be there, right? two child, one will be in this side, another will be in this side. Then what you need to take here, you may say that ma'am max is given, how you will find? You will get to know how we will get this max, but before that just go on dividing. So L cs I plus 1, so I plus 1 means this will be incremented, so a of 1 and b of j, so b of 0, a of 1 is a, sorry, a of 1 is b and b of 0 is b. Fine, you are finding a match. That's good. Okay. And what about this phase? This will be, I will remain same. So a of 0, comma, b of 1, j plus 1. So you take this, a of 0 was a, b of 1 is d. Again, no match. So if no match, again, this type of things will be called. So it's, this is b, comma b. If it is b, comma b, that means the match. So if match, then what you, it should return. Now it should, if I'm not doing anything wrong, obviously, for this one, this is a1, b0. So a1, b0 is matching. So once you will get for this one, then you will get here what you will get. Now this is a match. So once this is a match, then it will return what? It will call what? It will call the, first of all, it will call the next. For a match, it will call the next. So what it will call? What it should call? What should I write here?
Both
I
incremented
plus
by 1.
1, that is A2 and B1. A2 and B1 means this is 1 plus this call. Okay. So 1 plus this call means A2 means what? A2 is 0, 1, 2. So A2 is C, B, 1, B. Okay. So actually, I don't have more space. This way, continuously, either with I increment or J increment, you will continue. This is the thing is 1 plus means when you are calling this. So this way, when you will reach, say, B2, the next phase from here or there, whenever you will reach B2, then you will find the null. So once something is null, it will return 0. So that is the first 0, the result obtaining from the bottommost level, it started. So every time you will get 0. Fine. When at any point of time you will reach the null and then you will start getting the 0. So once you get the 0, then it will come back to upper level, then that will be added to 1. Now say here it's 1 and here it becomes 2, or here again it's 1. If it is both are same, then there is no meaning of max. But otherwise what you need to take now, whenever a mismatch occurs, you need to go for checking that what are the things are matching, and from the both child, whatever the values, you are supposed to take the max. So say here it's 1 plus something, so if you continue at certain level, you will get say 0, or at this level you are getting again 0. So then you will add, say this side 1 and this side becomes 2. Then out of them 2 is maximum. Out of them 2 is maximum. So you will take that. And how you are getting that? If you match that, if you trace back that, you will get the string also. Means whenever you are getting the 2, just you find the path, you will get B and D. Okay. Because here you can observe that B and D is there. If you want, you just apply this and form the tree, then you can understand why I'm telling that this is the bottom up approach. Just apply this. You need to continue it this way. Just continue and take 5 minutes time and complete this. and check whether you are understanding this or not, whether do it, you are able to do it or not. Take 5 minutes of time and just check it. After that, I will say that what is the problem of this approach, and then I will move forward. Okay, so have you completed the thing and have you understood? Have you understood? If you have from the tree, then only you can understand that what is the drawback of this simple approach. Have you tried?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Trying.
Okay. It will, so if you try this, you can understand that I'm forming this tree based on the fact of the recursive function call. So you can understand that continuously if the uh, tree means if this number of calls are getting in more, if you are getting more number of calls, then you can understand that the tree will be a huge size. Tree will be expanded in a huge number of levels with huge number of child. So if it goes in this way, that means the tree will grow in exponential manner. Now, the tree indicates what? The tree indicates that how many or how many times the function is getting called. So that incurs the time. That incurs the space complexity, that incurs the more time complexity. That will take the time complexity will go in a exponential manner. And that's not desirable. Definitely that's not desirable. Whenever you are designing any algorithm, your basic job is what? Your basic job that you have to do something for which the time complexity value gets reduced. The time complexity function value gets reduced. Time complexity is not the issue. Time complexity is just like our blood and bone that is associated with each and every algorithm. What we want now, that the way every one of us want to reduce their weight, similarly every algorithm design demands that it should have the lesser time complexity value. Time complexity do not have any unit. That's a mathematical function in normal that we do the normal analysis. That is a normal mathematical function only. Okay. Now, so this approach is normal recursive approach, and that we have understood that you can solve it. Obviously, you can solve it using the recursive approach, but it will be time taking. It will be time taking. Okay. So that's why another approach is there. Now, why the time and all these things are required? See, in recursion, what you need to do now, every time you are going to the best level where this return zero or that condition is appear. But before that, you have to call everything, and whatever you are calling, you have to keep the records. Fine. That obviously, again, that's a problem in all types of recursive approach. What the dynamic programming provide us, they provide a method of memoization. The memoization do what? Memoization actually do what? That they provides use of a kind of tabular thing, and with some specific formula they avoid this kind of function calling and this trace backing. What they do that they are with the memoization in that table, memoization table, they facilitate storing of the previous data, so that you no need to do the, so that the system no need to keep the record or the track with the function call. So what is the method? Method is your this method says you that you need to do if a of I, b of j is equal, that is the content of both string is equal, then you will do 1 plus LCS I minus 1 j minus 1. What happening? Here LCS is a matrix, you can understand. A and B both are string. If things are matching, then IJ, if this is your, say, this is a matrix. If you say this is some specific I and J, then I minus 1, j minus 1 means I, that is denoting the row. So I minus 1, that means previous row. This is your I minus 1 row. Okay, the entire row is I minus 1 and j minus 1. If this is your j column, then this previous column is your j minus 1. So what is I minus 1, j minus 1? This element, that means diagonal element. So if both are equal, then the entry of this matrix Ij will be what? 1 plus LCS I minus 1, j minus 1. So whatever the elements available here, whatever the value, that would be added. Okay, if both are equal. So LCS Ij. If it's not equal, then also you need to write some value. Then what value will be taken? Then it will take LCS I minus 1 comma j, comma LCS I, comma j minus 1. What it's doing? I minus 1 j means same column previous element. I comma j minus 1 means same row previous element. Out of these two means if equal, you add with the diagonal element. If not equal, you check whether upper value or this previous value, which one is more, you will use, take maximum of that. Fine. So if you apply this approach with the same example, that A, B, C, D and B, D, you will, or you take B, A, whatever means, with the same example, you will understand that it will take a lesser amount of steps to solve. So if lesser amount of steps are there, that means that will incur low time complexity. Okay. So we need to take one table for doing that memoization. This way, this tracking, this storing this one with the previous, this taking the previous value as a reference and then doing this and keeping it in a tabular format, that basically is your that memoization process. Okay. And B and D, this is 1 and 2. And as you have seen, even in the 01 knapsack also, I have shown that we take, as we are doing this kind of thing. So we do what now? We do checking, or we do one initialization with 00. See, obviously no one will ask you to do this thing when you are dealing with the longest common subsequence problem. Okay. But means longest common subsequent means that two strings may be given, and how much you are finding that another string is present. That may be a gene sequence, that may be anything, whether this sequence is present in another sequence or how much it's present. If that kind of things you need to do, obviously you need to do this algorithm, not that recursive one. Okay. So now let us start. So we will start from this 1 and 1. A1 equals to B1. Is it true? A1 is, this is your A and this is your B. If you think in this way, A1 is A, B1 is B. Are they matching? No. If not matching, you need to take maximum of these two elements. Both are 0, so nothing to be done. You can write the 0. Fine. Okay. So once you have done this, obviously you will go forward and you will find that this element is equal to this. This element will be equal to this. This B and B, these are equal. So if it is equal, then it will be added, one will be added with the diagonal elements. So from this position, what is the diagonal element? Now this is the position. So add here. Similarly, when you come for this, with this, no matching is found. So if no matching is found, you are supposed to take the max. So if from this and this, what is the max? Now this is the element. Now if you go for this element, again no match, so take the max. So this will be element. Then you go for next, this one, for next this one, you will again check. So to B2 and this, they are not matching. So as they are not matching, it will be max of this and this, both are 0. So this will be 0. Okay. Next, again, you are coming here. D and B is not matching. So what you can take max of this and this, it will be here. If you come here, C and D, they are also not matching. So you take max of this, both are 1. So this will be 1. And again, when you come here, you will get that D and D is matching. And you need to take diagonal element plus 1. Diagonal element is 1. So 1 plus 1, 2. Okay. So this way you are getting the length of the string, length of the common subsequence. Fine. So you will get, so in which you are finding the match now in D. So take the D now. How you are getting this 2? Now by adding with this 1. So it will go back here. Now, are you are getting this one directly for this one? No. So from where you are getting this one? Now this. So this is the origin. Now you may check forward, but this one you are getting for this one, right? So mainly this is the thing where you are finding the match. So this is the sequence will be BD, length will be 2. Okay. Now you may take this algorithm and you take say 2 words. Let me take say you take this way 2 word. One is management, another one is say check whether you are able to do it not. Take the algorithm. Yes, you can take any of them row wise, any of them column wise. You may take management as a B and garment as a B this way and tell me. You can get more than one also, but you need to find the longest one. Check whether you are able to apply or not. Take 5 minutes or 6 minutes of time and check whether you are able to apply it or not. I'm just coming for a minute with a bottle of water. You please solve this. So are you able to do it? So when you are doing the program, you need to do this. So before that, based on the length of the string, you need to take the matrix size and then you need to use these rules throughout your matrix. Okay. So this is the thing that you need to do. So I hope you are able to do this. And for this one, so far, I can see that the match is with uh, this can be taken. This is a G, then this entire MENT. So this can be length 5 and this can be one substring. You may again even go for this. This A is matching, then MENT that you can take. You can take this N, then MENT. But whatever I can see that you will get a length 5, that is the maximum length, but there are multiple options. So multiple options there. With this matrix, you will get similar type of value, which is the original one, and for every part you will get that kind of solutions if you solve in this way. But if you directly write the program, that it you will get there. এত আগে কি? Okay, fine. So this is the thing. So this is for finding the longest common subsequence. Okay. Now, if you need to do, or if you need to find the pattern, means rather it's if it is for pattern finding, or you can say pattern matching, which algorithm is there and how it can be done, you have studied, that is also in the DA paper. So how that can be done? How that can be done? So can you tell what it will be? Which algorithm is there for finding the pattern? This is also part of your syllabus. You have studied, you have given the exam, and all of you are 9-pointer maybe. What was the algorithm? Still the name of the algorithm, or you can, if you want, you may say that how things are working.
I'm searching algorithm.
Pattern finding, I'm just telling pattern matching or pattern finding. That is not sorting algorithm or searching algorithm. That is not searching algorithm.
Machine learning algorithm.
There will be one string, say like A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, this way. And this is pattern, say anything, say DA is your pattern. So the previous thing that we have done, now we are finding that need not to be in a contiguous manner, and you need to find a situation when some match will be fine.
Yes, we have to check and match.
That is there, you have to check the match with the number of characters, maximum number of characters in a specific order, in that string. But in case of pattern finding or pattern matching, the thing is, as a whole, this has to be matched in this sequence. Fine, this DEF pattern is now, if you see here, you can directly observe that this string is containing one DEF and this is DEF. Okay, done. But it's not about you, it's about the program and all. So how things can be done and how things can be done efficiently, that is very important. First of all, how we do this thing, say how we can start. Now, if I start with this way, first you will check, say this is your pattern, say this is B and this is A. So you will compare A of I, this I with this jth location, and you are finding this is not matching. So if this is not matching, what you will do? Now, J is not finding the match, so you will move the I only. So I will come here and you are trying to find the match. Are you finding any match? No. So again, J will be fixed here and I will come here. Fine. So you are coming here, again you are trying to find the match, no match. Then I will proceed and you are getting, okay, now this is match. So once this is match, then I and J both will change their position. Then the IJ again find the match. Then again both will proceed to the next location. Now once you have reached the end of this, this is done. This is done. Okay. Now this is one string where you are finding in the middle this kind of, but if the string is like this, A, B, C, A, B, C, D, A, B, C, D, E, and say your string is A, B, C, D, E. You need to find. So what you will do? You will start with this. You will find very good. You will go for next match, very good. You will again come here, match, very good. Sorry, no match. Here, no match. Then what you will do? Next again, you will start from here. Here, it's match. Sorry. Next again, you will start from here and with the string here, no match. So, okay, move forward. Then again, find match. You are say, okay, again matching. Again, you are going for next matching. Okay, next you are going here where you have stopped earlier. Come here. Again, it is matching. Oh, very good. Then again, you come here, no match. Then you feel okay, these two are not okay. So again, start from here, this third location. Again, you start and again you reach up to A, B, C, it will match. Okay. So this way, after certain iteration, you will reach here and you will again start. This will again start from here. So it will again start matching A, B, C, D. Even after D, this will not match. This will not match. Then again you have to, then you have started in earlier stage here. Then in the next iteration, you have to start from here. Next iteration, you have to start from here. Next iteration, you have to start from here. Then when you will come here, then only you will find this pattern, right? So if you need to find a specific pattern, so many times you need to continue the same process, and every time you are finding a mismatch, almost you are starting from the back. So what is the problem? This is your normal approach that we do. We have learned from the normal programming language that if I say that one name is so whatever the things you need, if this kind of strings are there, you need to, we have done this way now. We have always taken A of I equals to B of J, then match. If not, again start. Again, this means every time we are going back, going back, going back. That we need to do to find the match. That's a simple approach, but that's you can understand that this way they are taking same area again and again, right? So they try to do what? There is one algorithm which is named as Knuth Morris Pratt. Knuth Morris Pratt. This algorithm, what they do, they are taking for a string, they are finding prefix and suffix. They are finding prefix and suffix. Say there is a pattern, means there is a string, say A, B, C, D, A, B, C, this way. They are thinking that prefix and suffix can be taken, and for a sentence means prefix will be taken from this side, suffix may be taken from another side. So if you can find a way that if some prefix is matching with some suffix, then you may say that, okay, checking is done. And if for one part, if checking is complete, you need not to do that thing. Or another way you may say that, say up to this level, your checking is done, and after that you have obtained the mismatch. So there is no meaning, means you have started at the initially from the first position, and when you have reached third position, you find that there is something wrong. But if you are if you know already that up to this level, it was same, then you no need to come back again, means you no need to start from here. You will start from the next position, so that the number of times the overlapping and checking of the same part of the sentence or same part of the string that is being done again and again in a normal approach, that can be avoided. And if you can avoid that, obviously it will reduce the total number of steps, and that actually uh, affect your time complexity function value. Okay. So this is the thing that we do in the Knuth-Morris pattern. I have shared yesterday, but also I will take few minutes to show this. So if we do this is the thing. This is your both example. Check the string ABC, ABC, ABAC, and your string is ABAA. And you can see it's matching only here, not this side or that side. This way we will do the match. Up to drawback I have discussed. So let us look at this steps. M, that is the length of the P. P is what? P is your pattern. Okay. Then A of 1 equals to 0, just a matrix, means just an array, not matrix. And one K is just a variable, you take that. For Q, 2 to M, means P and Q both your strings. So for Q 2 to M, that is the enter length, what you do, you just repeat these steps. You will just repeat these steps. So if this is your string, you can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 is the length. This is just a symbol pi. It's taken for how to compute. This is for your that match and all those things. So You just take it in this way, k equals to 0, go for the next. When you need to calculate, this is your q, this is p, and this is where you are supposed to point all the, what I can say, all the positions. So what it do actually, for the first time, whenever you are, the basic idea is, for the first time it is getting one character, that would be marked as 0. The second time when you are getting this, that will become 1. Okay, so this way, the first time the a and b is there, they are zeros. And when you will move forward and you will get second time this a, then it becomes 1. If you go for this, then this is the thing that is matching with what? That is matching with this data that is in second position. So this, again you are coming here, then it, this a, you may say, why this is not also 1? This is with the first position 1, then this, why this is not being done? It is taking the reference of this particular point. It is taking the reference of this particular point, and from here it will find the match. Okay. Again, if you come here, see, no, it's not that kind of match that is available. So that is not done. Again, this is the new thing. So every time they are not going till the beginning. Every time they are finding, every time they are taking the match from a very smaller length, so that this overlapping checking that can be reduced. So this is the thing that if you want, you may take it and you may do practice. The main thing is that if you need to find a particular pattern, whether that is present or not, you have the normal approach of direct checking step by step, and it will take huge amount of time. But if you follow this one, this will become a linear order algorithm. This will become a linear order algorithm. That is the main facility of this Knuth-Morris-Pratt algorithm. That it's not checking. It's not checking the entire thing. It is checking, or it is stopped there where it not supposed to move forward. It's not checking the amount of the string which is already being checked. It's avoiding that. It's avoiding that. Okay. So you may do it. That is your choice. Take a 5-minute break. Then we will discuss about other things which are frequently being asked about the basics of AI, ML and all. And at the end, we'll discuss about the rule of group discussions. So take a 5-minute break, then we will start. And before that, if something is coming to your mind, you may ask. Or this, now this is the time where you just need to study and practice. That will only help you. So do whatever you want. But these are the thing, if you need to deal with the string problem, these two algorithms you're supposed to know. Another algorithm is there that is called Robin curve and all this. So there are plenty of algorithms, but for string problems, these algorithms are popular. If you want to solve, you need to study or practice. Well, so first we will discuss about little bit of different methods and methodologies of AI. AI as a term that you have studied also in your third semester as a sessional paper, where you have studied many things regarding the AI. Yes, full form is artificial intelligence, that's okay. But what does it mean? It means that we expect that the machine will act like a human being. The machine will act like a human being. Now, like a human being means what? It can take decisions based on some specific inputs. Now, how they can do it? How they can do it, or how a machine can be made this kind of intelligent, that is the thing that we study. That we study. That how a thing or how a machine can be made as intelligent, that is the thing that we are supposed to study. That's why it's called augmented intelligence. Means you are not supposed to do something that means you have no such thing to do that it can become directly a very intelligent machines directly will be produced and all. No, no such thing will happen. What we can do, or what is the thing that is in our hand? Now we can give the machine all such informations. We can give the machine all such informations which make the machine that much capable that it can take the decision like a human. So that is an intelligence that is not developed automatically. That is developed with that is what? That's why it is called augmented. Artificially it's given. That's why it's called artificial. Now the question is, what is our expectation that a set of robots will come which are intelligent in some artificial manner, and they will come and they will do all the jobs like us? No. That is just a fiction that there will be no human, only the robots will be there. They are thinking, they are planning, they are doing all the things. No. Job is what? That whatever human can do, the extra thing that a machine can do, means for a human being that may be very heavy work, or that may be very tiresome work, or maybe very critical things. Say a few months back I have read a news of either NRS or Kolkata Medical College, I cannot remember, that someone, some piece, a very small piece of steel that goes inside the throat or inside somewhere else. So then doctors were there and they had taken the help of robotic arm to solve this problem, means to take out that particular piece without doing much cutting. Otherwise, if something got stuck in my throat and I had to operate it with a normal operation, just a minute. Now, so robotic arm is doing what? Now, robotic arm is acting as per the instruction of the doctor. So it's not replacing the doctor. Generally in some cartoon or some movie it's being shown. Even there is a book also where it's shown that robots are gaining all kinds of knowledge. They are doing everything and they have decided to eradicate total human civilization. No, that is not something to do, or that is not something actually expected from the AI. It's just one helping hand, because it can do the things only that you tell them. So how they will learn? Simple. You need to imagine, you as a programmer, you need to imagine what are the possible situations may be. What are the possible situations may be, and ready some conclusions, means first ready some predicate or the situations, and based on those situations what decision supposed to be taken, that conclusion set has to be prepared and those has to be mapped. How your machine will learn? Now, from those situations, and if they can find the match of your situation, then obviously they can find the solution and they can solve it. And if something is not matching, it will not solve. Simple. So AI is the entry point of today's whatever the advanced technologies we are dealing with. It's a vast domain which includes everything. AI includes ML. ML includes deep learning also. In one side there is a deep learning, and if it has to work as per the human instruction, then there has to be your that part also, that is called the natural language processing. So everything is a kind of subset of AI. What are the types of AI? Mainly we are bothered about weak and strong. Weak or narrow AI means they are specific to the problems. They are just specific to the problems only. Okay. So if you think that means that means what? That particular AI machine is not to be used for any kind of AI problem or any kind of problem. They are domain specific. If you say that there will be one self-driving car, so that can understand only that instruction only, not more than that. Next is applied. So applied, why is AI is can perform specific tasks, but like the narrow or weak AI, they do not have the ability to learn by themselves. Means no further interference can be made from the situations. No further conclusions, means it's given A to B and another rule is B to C maybe. In the weak AI or in the applied AI, they do not have that capability that they can conclude that means A arrow C. They are not able to do that. Now, if we think about the strong AI or super AI, that is basically till now it's almost in an imagination situation or in some logical format maybe. That is, they try to focus the intelligence system to a level of general approach. Means, obviously not as a direct human being, but they can, suppose an AI is there, AI based robot or machine is there, it can cook, it can sweep, it can open the door, close the door, do help in you in programming, maybe, or forget about that, maybe you are planning to make a robot who can do all the household work. You don't need to wait for the buy and all those things. So that is your basically strong AI or general AI, which is not actually very problem specific. Your robot is household ready with a household program, but if certainly it need to go out and buy some medicines or do something else, it can do. Till now, properly, the strong AI based system is not that much available, but different works are going on. That's why you can see many times some robots are being launched with certain features which can do handshake, which can welcome you and all those things. That's are going on, but not for all the purpose. Similarly, super AI or conscious AI is much more advanced. Means if you are not happy, the robot can observe, robot can see, robot can think that how you, means the machine can think how you can become happy. Similarly, the robot also can be, they are also having some consciousness. So that can be, they can also think that, no, now I'm not happy or I'm happy. Such a things are there. Okay. But whatever the things we are getting, those are based on your weak or narrow AI. That is the domain specific. So these are the different examples. Chatbot, dealing with different game, data, they help in this way. Next, whenever we are talking about this AI-based system, one of the example is expert system. Means one of the special type of the thing is expert system. Now, what is that? Expert system is a complete system which is having the ability that it has its own knowledge base, it has its own that particular inference engine, so that whenever it get the total number of situations or whenever it gets the total information or total knowledge of different situation, it can do the searching. Once they got it, then they can, using the help of using the inference engine, they can conclude. That is a complete AI system, and as they can do by themselves, they are being called as a expert system. Fine. So expert system, you may say that that is just one example. Now, whenever they are doing this this preparing of the knowledge base or searching from the knowledge base and all these things, they involve one thing. What they do basically, they are basically searching. They are basically searching. Now, when they are searching, what is requirement? The requirement is the amount of time that required to search, that should not be large enough. Amount of time that is required, or the number of steps that it requires, or or amount of space, that is the search area where it need to run, this search process, that has to be minimum. That has to be minimum. Okay. Now, when we are dealing with these different kind of search approaches, one is called, that is forward searching. Means what? You are present in the initial situation, and from there, based on the rules, you are going to your destination. You know your source as well as you know the destination, and you are going from source to destination with some specific search path and or the chain of path, that is your forward chaining. Forward. Similarly, you are, means it's like that you have started from your home and you are going to some certain destination, you know the routes, you are going there. That is your forward. And backward means what? Backward means you are being placed somewhere. You need to go back to home, but you do not know that where actually you are standing. Suppose you are being kidnapped, and two things are there. One is that you have decided to leave the home because you are not happy with your home. So you have started your journey, but at least you know that where you will go, or which particular place can give you the peace of mind. So you are going there. That's okay. So that is the from source to the destination, entire thing is known to you. How we will explore the path and everything, that's a different thing. That's a different strategies that you may use, that which path or which paths are supposed to be taken. But suppose you are being kidnapped, but after sometimes they find you that not worthy, so they have left you somewhere in unknown place, maybe within the forest or maybe anywhere. So what may happen? You are completely confused that where you are, but you know that you have to go back to the home, because kidnapper also do not find any kind of worth within you. So they have left you in the forest. So you are trying to go back. So you don't know where you are. So from there, finding the way to reach the home, that's a trial that involves a lot of trial and error approach. Because it do not know that in which path it can get the goal. So this is called backward chaining or backward searching or backward process. Okay. So obviously, for forward chaining, everything has to be known, and only the paths that has to be it will compare the quality of the path and then it will be followed. And for backward, you have no knowledge. In general, what happens? If I go for this backward process, it will form a exponential growth tree. N number of trial and all. So it will take more time. than the forward chain. Okay. Next is another concept that is related to the AI, that is called the fuzzy logic. Fuzzy logic is what? Fuzzy logic is for, you may say in a line, that's for confused people maybe. Say, you are in your home and maybe you have used your AC, you have set your AC temperature. Now it's morning 11:10 and you have set your AC temperature, say around 23 degree. Say around 23 degree you have set. Now, to you, the 23 degree at the morning 11 a.m. is comfortable. Suddenly, someone from your home or someone else is coming to room and that person is feeling that it feels like a chilling cold. So does it mean that the suddenly for that person temperature goes down? No, it is fixed in 23. But that person is feeling much more cold than you. Similarly, maybe one of your friend is coming and who has different layers over, there is a thick layer over the skeleton of fat. So that person may feel, oh, it's too hot. Is your AC is not working? Because that person may feel much more, means that person need much more cooler experience. Means that person demand is that AC has to be in 16 degrees. So your room temperature that is controlled by that AC, that may be fixed at the temperature 23 degrees centigrade. But for others, the perception may differs. No one is wrong. No one is wrong. For you, it's comfortable. For second person, it's too cold. For third person, it's not cold. It's okay, maybe. That's called fuzzy. Nothing can be decided as yes, or nothing can be said as no. It's between the possibilities. Means if for a particular situation, someone cannot tell you whether yes or no. So in between where you are lying, that is your fuzzy state. Okay, that is your fuzzy state. See, when we had studied the fuzzy during student life, one popular example teachers used to use, that say there is a cup of water or maybe juice. If I say that probability is that this juice contains poison, the probability of containing poison is 0.4. That means there is a chance that 0.4 it is containing the poison, but there is a 0.6, that is 60% chance that there is no poison. But if say that the fuzzy count value is 0.4, that means it contains that poison. It contains poison. Now, how much? That is decided with some, there are plenty of mathematics involved also. We are not supposed to study all the fuzzy things here, but these are the things that, or this is the thing that is happening. Okay. So these are the specific, simple enough or common enough concepts that we go with the AI. And another interesting thing that is the thing people are working, that is called explainable artificial intelligence, or the XAI. XAI. Okay. So it's basically, say, there is a machine and it's checking whether it is black or white. Say. So say you are checking that whether this particular thing is white or not, pure white or not, the cleanliness is being checked. So you are checking continuously and you may get that every time you are passing the white, it is passing yes, it's written yes, that's okay. But sometimes it may happen that it's not able to, both the things may happen. That sometimes it's not pure white, or maybe due to low light, or maybe for other situation, it's not working. Means it's not giving you correct result. It's white, but maybe a little bit bluish white, or a little bit creamish white, or grayish white. So there are various, means some maybe a little bit mix of other things, but they are, in your open eye, they are actually look like white, or you are supposed to consider them as white. But at present, whatever the algorithms we have, they either say that this is yes or no, this is white or not white, this is accepted or not, but why things it's not accepted? No explanation is there. So explainable AI, or XAI, is a new technology that is coming, or people are working on this technology. They are trying to find that system will automatically try to find that why this is not correct, or why this is wrong. Why this is wrong. Okay. That is the job of explainable AI. They are in more analyzing part. They are trying to analyze the result. If some wrong result it's giving, mainly that time it try to analyze that what is the problem. See, just the example is given, it can understand and can react. So these are the things is written here. Obviously, these are the challenge also. Obviously, very much complex. And as much of the things has to be explored at the user end for a better user experience, it may suffer from security issues. So those are the problem. Now, so from the AI, what we supposed to know? What is AI? What are the types of AI? What kind of, in which kind of AI people are working on? What exactly AI do? It's basically involved the intelligent search process, the searching of source to the destination, or problem to the solution of the problem by means of some intelligent methods. Next is, at the beginning I told that machine learning can be considered as a part of AI or subset of AI. Where is the link? We are studying AI as a subject, or AI ML fundamental as a subject, and another one as another subject. Yes, it's a part of AI, part of AI, part of AI. We are studying, we are remembering. But how? Where this machine learning can plays its role? Can anybody tell me that? Because you have studied so many papers related to this domain. So I want to listen from your side that what is your view about all this? I want to listen from your side. What is your view that these machine learning algorithms and all, whatever we are studying, and whatever the preliminary things I have discussed about that, even you have studied also. So can you tell me that where is the linkage? Means in which part of the artificial intelligence or in which process this machine learning algorithms may be applied or anything? If you can say something, what is your idea? You can unmute yourself and you can put forward your views. কিরে কিছু তো বল, তোরা তো অনেকগুলো পেপার পড়েছিস, তোরা তো অনেকগুলো পেপার পড়েছিস, কিছু তো বল। মানে তোদের মার্কশিটটা যখন ইন্টারভিউ বোর্ডে শো করবি, whenever you will show your mark sheet during interview, they will find that you are studying these subjects since second year. Yes, we are all bad. We are all very bad. We are very bad teachers and all. We are worthless, but you are worthy. You are supposed to study. I think you have studied. You have scored so much marks in all the exams. I don't know why you people don't want to speak. I really don't understand. Anyway, see, in artificial intelligence, what I told you that they're supposed to work with some intelligent problems. What is called by what can be called as intelligent problems? Intelligent problem means which do not have direct solution. Say I'm giving you two numbers and you need to do a summation. That's not intelligent problem. But I'm giving you a puzzle. I'm giving you a puzzle. Initial state is there and there will be one goal state, and by moving some blank space that you have done even in the rubric. Every one of us had to deal with the rubric in our childhood. Even most of us actually find very interest in the rubric by moving that blank space and the moving the blocks to get all colors in one side or such and such and thing as that there. So those kind of thing, that's an intelligent problem. It's a puzzle based thing, right? Which do not have any direct solution. Now you may say, we have studied n-queen problem, which is a backtracking approach. Yes, everything is there. But the point is direct solution, that from this point to that, do this and you will get the answer. No. It's need to do some trial and error. Means it's need to move to left, it has to move to right, it has to go somewhere else, up, down, whatever, and then finding the solution, then reaching the goal state. So that's the intelligent problem. So the process from initial state to reach the goal state, what it's doing, it's searching the solution. So it's a search process. Search process always doesn't mean that linear search and binary search. Search process is searching something. Those are the algorithms used for those kind of data set, simple data set oriented issue, searching for a data and all this. But here it's from initial state to goal, so it has to perform an intelligent search. Now, how this search process can be done efficiently, in how you can reduce the time for searching, these all elaborately, if you think, see, we cannot change the source, we can change the input, the way we are giving the source. But we cannot change the source, we cannot change the destination. So where the efficiency or any kind of things can be done, that is in this entire search process. And that is the area, means how those things are being organized. So searching involves what? In another aspect, now for every situation, you think of all situations. Say, take one example, say one farmer is there. The farmer is having one wolf, one cabbage, and one goat. The farmer has to go from the one side of the river to another bank of the river, from one side to another side. And he can take the help of one boat only. What is the condition? The farmer cannot, means every time the farmer has to be in the boat to take one element and to keep it in another side. Fine. Farmer cannot keep alone the cabbage and the goat, because the goat will eat the cabbage. Farmer also cannot keep the goat and the wolf at the same time and go somewhere, means go to another one to take another person. But he needs to take all three items to the another one. But at a time, the boat can accommodate only two things, including the farmer. So with this entire procedure, you cannot say directly. You need to check all possible things and you need to decide what to do. So for all possible situations, who can go with farmer, who can be kept in another bank, who can be again carried with the farmer. You need to think about all possible situations and the conclusions. So searching this conclusion, identify or finding the match with the situation, and from there taking the final decisions. This particular thing involves a lot of steps. And this lot of steps are basically the area of the research. Cannot change the problem statement, cannot change source or the destination. Where you can do everything in this entire process, and your entire machine learning is doing that. The algorithm's jobs are that. It may be prediction. Obviously, prediction is based on the previous situations. It may be learning from the experience. It may be modifying the operations based on the learning. Everything is for the purpose to solve or to improve the intelligent searching. So normally machine learning can be defined as that it allows the program to automatically improve through experience. Fine. So based on that, we generally categorize the machine learning in few parts. First or very simple part is supervised learning, where input and output both are known. You have to find the mapping. You have to find the mapping. You know source, you know destination, you know just, or you have to find that how you can map, or which input can be mapped to which output. That you need to, that is your supervised learning. Everything is known to you. Rather you are finding that you are getting this output and you know what is expected output, and you can check whether your output is wrong or right. This method is supervised learning. The following examples that is given: KNN, linear regression, SVM, decision tree, all these are example of supervised learning algorithm. So that means what we do, if you think about machine learning now, it's quite interesting. What we do in the normal programming, we write the algorithm, we take the input, and we produce the output. That's your normal programming. And in case of machine learning, what we do, you have the input, you have the output, you have to deduce a way, that is the algorithm, to find that output from this input. You need to find a map. Now, if you know both properly, input and output, then it becomes supervised. If you know the input means you just know, okay, there is some input, but you do not know that what exact output it will give. So you need to categorize your input data, the nature of the input data, and based on the nature pattern, you may find some output. That is your unsupervised learning. Semi-supervised, a part of data is label, but a huge amount of data is not label. What does it mean by label? In case of supervised learning, that for this input, that will be the output, that is the labeling. For unsupervised, no such situation can happen. In case of semi-supervised, it know a little bit, but for rest of the things, it has to explore. And reinforcement, that is based on the outcome, it learn and update itself. Means when in the childhood we have learned that how to do cycling, we know, means in case of reinforcement, what you may think that, you know, this is the tire, this is the handle, this is the brake, this is seat, this is pedal, and when you need to do the cycling, you need to sit over the seat and you need to move the pedal and it should go in straight. You know everything, but whether you are able to execute it or not, that based on your learning method, with the practice, you may go into a state where you can do the cycling properly. But for the first time, whenever every one of us, whenever for the first time we have rolled that the cycle and we have tried to run it, then we understood that it's not, knowing every part doesn't mean that you can run it in a single attempt, in the first attempt. So every time you are learning that where is the problem. If you are able to identify the problem after certain steps, things will be improved and it will be almost with no error. Otherwise, it may be considered. Otherwise, that means you are not learning. If you are not learning, that obviously not reinforcement system. Now, so under supervised learning, again, all the problems can be thought of as regression and classification. Now, just let me stop the share. I'm just asking you. So, what does it mean by the regression problem? What does it mean by regression problem? What does it mean by the classification problem? Now let us, we will discuss various points regarding means those things are generally asked, as your mark sheet will show that you have studied this subject. Definitely you will be asked. Just tell me, what does it mean by regression problem and what does it mean by classification problem? So can you tell me, if you are not able to tell me, I don't know, means please hope, means please interact, otherwise everything is meaningless. বসে থাক চুপ করে, এইভাবেই যখন জীবন চলছে চলুক, চললেই ভালো। হ্যাঁ মানে ওরা মানে ওরা যেভাবে সবাই 9 পয়েন্ট পায় সেইভাবেই যদি চাকরিও পায় তা তো খুবই ভালো। Regression means regression that involves basically the prediction. It's not giving you any definite value, whether to accept, whether to reject. Regression do what? Regression do that based on some input, it predict what can be the output. Regression is from a set of input, from a set of data set, it decides or it can predict some possible outcome. It never says that accept this, reject this, or yes or no, no. It just means, say, if I say that there is for a particular place, today the square feet of a flat or building is this, what will be after certain time? That is the prediction. If today share value is this, what can be the share value after this situation or these things are applied? That is the prediction. So whenever we think about the prediction, we generally do it either using the simple linear regression or using the multiple linear regression, or it can be non-linear regression too. So what is the simple linear regression? Simple linear regression says that suppose there is one independent variable y. Y is what? Y is your a value which you are trying to predict, and equals to say some mx plus c is there. So simple linear regression basically follow the rule similar to the straight line. Okay, if you take the y value and x value and then if you draw this will give you a straight line. Means for every point change in the x, there will be a change in the y. So if the change in both is equal amount, in equal ratio, then it is simple linear regression. Okay. In case of simple linear regression, there will be one y and only one x. Means x is here. What x is here is the independent variable and y is your dependent variable, because value of y depends on the value of the x. Okay. And if the relation between x and y form, means if the relation between x and y, you get some points, and if you connect them, if it gives you that straight line format, that means the relation is in simple linear regression format or simple linear format. Okay. Now, what does it mean by the multiple linear regression? There may be some situation when the dependent variable y depends on multiple independent values. Means there may be x1, x2, dot, 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 xn. The y value is not depending on only x1 or only x2 or only x3. It may possible that it depends on x1, x2, x3 in with the various weightage. Okay. Say in the once upon a time, I don't know what happens now, that joint rank in joint entrance examination is based on the performance in the maths. Means in some other time it was doing in this way, they do it in this way, that whatever you score in the maths, when they take the weightage, they take the double weightage of the maths and single weightage of the physics and chemistry. That means, say for if I say total is one total calculation, then 50% weightage is taken from the maths and 25% from the physics, 25% from the chemistry. Similar, if it is for medical entrance, then 50% may be for the biology and rest is maybe fine. So the point is what? That multiple linear regression means, that means if you are very good at math but you are very bad in other two, your rank will be low. If you are good at all, then the rank will be high, a very good rank. So that is the multiple linear regression, where one dependent variable is depending on the multiple way, but all the terms are in the linear order. Means y equals to ax1, bx2, cx3, that's way. It's not giving you ax square, bx cube. No such things are happening. So that is multiple linear regression. But if non-linear regression is also possible, if the set of input and output maintains the relationship, if you connect those points, if it may give you the curve line, curve, not a line, it's a curve, that may be parabola, that may be hyperbola, that may be anything, that is non-linear regression. Fine. So these are the various ways. Mainly regression is with that part, one is with your only y, and rest of the part, it may be x, single x, it may be x set of x size, or it may be x square. Now, whenever you are dealing with it, before I go to the classification, let me complete few another thing. Now, with this, you are predicting one y, be it only mx plus c kind of format, or be it ax1 plus bx2 plus c, or y equals to ax square, whatever the format, in every situation you are predicting one y. Fine. That y is your prediction. But as it is a part of supervised learning, you know that what can be, what can be the situation that can support you in such a way that you can find that there are situations which may exactly same, which may exactly same with the fact that whatever you are predicting, the result is same. But it may leads to some situation also where you may go through that kind of situation. It's not matching. It's not matching. Then what is happening? Now that is called error. The line that you are expecting means that is your desired value, and the output that you are getting, that is your error. Okay, that is your error. And we are bothered to match the lines as much as possible. Now the thing is, what are the different kinds of errors are possible? What are the different errors are possible? One is called R squared. Another one is mean square error. Another one is mean absolute error. What is mainly means these are the different metrics or the methods by which we measure the error. So what are they? Now R square we generally is written as R2, mean square or MSE, or mean absolute error. What we do in R square? Now this is one of them is your calculated value and another one is your predicted value. And Y bar means mean. Okay. Y bar is your mean. If you do this way, whatever means, say your expectation is your profit will be 5 rupees, but your profit is actually 3. So how much error is there? 2. So they take squared error format so that there should not be any negative result or so on. So this way we calculate the square error, that is the R square, that is the R2. Another one is mean square error. This is the most popular thing that we use. Take the difference of predicted value and the desired value, desired minus predicted or whatever you do, and then square, then sum, then make an average. That's why it's called root mean square error or mean square error. Okay. Another method is absolute error. That is mean absolute error. So instead of square, you just take the absolute value of the error, then do the summation, then do the average, and then you calculate the mean absolute error. Fine. So these are the concept of error. Okay. Next, very important concept, that is what do you understand? This is a means first of is what are the different kinds of error? Means other than the supervised, unsupervised, all those reinforcement. What does it mean by regression, or what we do in the regression? Then it comes with that how we can measure the error. So these are the method. Even if you cannot remember everything, you can tell that if I do RMSE, that is root mean square error or mean square error, that can solve or that can be used. That is very popular, that can be used. If you go for the overfit, and now the next point is what does it mean by the fitting of a line? Fitting of a line means what? Fitting of a line means what? Say we are talking about that you need to, for the regression, you need to deduce a function, the y equals to mx plus c, that is a function, okay. So how that function can work, whether that is suitable or not, you just say here the points, you can see they are placed in this scattered way, that too in a curvical manner. But if you write a equation like this, what will happen? Now, it is not covering most of the points. So if you are not covering most of the point, that means this line equation is not the suitable regression function for the data set that is given to you. So this line or this function cannot be used to predict the outcome based on some input. So this situation is called the underfitting. This situation is for the underfitting. Means that is say your size is, you are a person of say double XL, but as a whole, maybe on the last day of the college, you have decided that all of you will print one white t-shirt with a logo, and you will use it for writing your name or the last message for your friends and everything. But those are being ordered in as a whole manner. All of them is either of M or L. So what will happen? It's underfit, you cannot fit into. If you are a person of double XL size, you cannot be fit in this. So that's the issue of underfit. Fine. Now, underfit, question about underfit generally less, because everybody understand, okay, this cannot be used. That is easily done. Problem occurs that for finding the 100% accuracy, that is finding this error as 0, all the error value as 0, means the predicted value and the actual value almost exactly same. To do so, people are going for the more and more accuracy target, and then they can reach a situation which is called overfitting. Overfitting means what? So you may say that overfitting means there is 0 error, and that can be considered as the best. If something is 0 error, then that can be considered as the best. Then where is the problem? The problem is the data that you are used for the training of your system, that is the function that you have developed. If it is giving 0 error with that, the situation may be overfitting, means it is working best with its training data set, but may not work properly with the test data set. It may work perfectly okay with the training data set, but it may not work with an accepted level with the test data. That's a problem. And another issue is what you can see this graph where it's covering all the edges, but it's not maintaining any proper curvature. So you cannot make a very simple or popular equation to mark this. So the equation also very complicated, because for every space the slope is different and all things become much more complicated. Now, what is the right thing? That this is the right thing, that use a equation which will produce a map, or which will produce a function, or which will make a situation which can cover almost all the points, almost all or maximum point. That is the proper thing which can work properly with test and train data both. Okay. So again, this situation, how that can be reduced and everything, how you can reduce the cost. There is a gradient descent based method. So you can do with that, but all those things at present for doing just verbal courses, that's not required. So type of machine learning and its concept of error, those are required. And few more things are required, like what does it mean by the hypothesis, or what are the different kind of data that is used. So if you consider the data, two types of data are generally used. One is called categorical and another one is numerical. In case of numerical, again, we are getting either continuous value or discrete value. And in case of categorical, it's based on that yes, no kind of thing. Fine. So for numerical values, generally numerical continuous value, if that kind of inputs are there, then we will go for the prediction based algorithm or prediction method. If it is categorical, we go for the classification. Anytime whenever you will get discrete value, means your marital status cannot be predicted. Either you are married or you are unmarried. Okay. So your marital status cannot be predicted. So this kind of situations where you can use the classification. The regression algorithms cannot be used. Now, whenever you are dealing with the data, you should know, these are the again important thing, that you should know what kind of different levels of data what kinds of different data you can go through. So these are the categories of the data: nominal, ordinal, interval, and ratio. Can anybody tell me that, or can you give me some example of this nominal, means these are for these types of data? Can anybody give me some views about this? Can you give me some idea? So if I consider the first category, that is the nominal, here it basically go for kind of categorical value, which is, or you may say, they have some distinct value, but without any rank, means there is no gradation. There is no gradation. So example that is given here, gender, marital status, no gradation is there. If I go for the ordinal value, so they divide the data set into multiple categories. They are also from categorical group, but only the difference is that data can be arranged in some rank or the gradation. So student grades is just can be example, or in any organizations, the hierarchy. So those data, those are everything, they are all your categorical value. Next, interval. Interval is that where difference between the measurement is important, like temperature, year, distance, all these things. But interesting point is it do not have any true 0 point. Means if I say 0 degrees Celsius, what does it mean by true 0 point? If I say 0 degrees Celsius, so 0 degrees Celsius means, doesn't mean that that is the coldest temperature. There will be no cold after that. Means no temperature can be measured. You know that minus temperature is also there, -5, -3, and all those things, and those are much more cooler than this zero. So that 0 degrees Celsius do not give you the idea that that is the last point. So 20 point is not available for interval data. At least it has some value. Previous to category, they are not supposed to have this kind of numerical value most of the time. Even if they have, that is specific for some specific means that is categorized. They are not some continuous range of the values. And the ratio where the difference between elements are important, and as well as they are having a true 0 point. Okay. Salary 0 possible. So these are the types of the data that we can go with. Next is with the data, what does it means? How we process all this data. Now that is, or how we can measure the nature of the data, that is based on their central tendency. How we can measure the central tendency? Now that is mean, median, and mode. Mean, you can understand that is the basic average of the data. Median. Now, if let me tell about the mean, another important line, that mean means what? Now, say you are asking that what is the average performance of a group of students. So what you do? Now you take the marks of every student and you do the average. Okay, fine. Now, the student who is getting very less marks, that student marks will affect the entire value, and so the average will decrease. Means that that's actually not good, because there may be or if many of the students are of high marks, then also, or few of the students of the high marks, then also the average is not that much up to the mark. So with the central tendency, what we try to measure? We try to measure that what is the nature. So that is the mean that why we are doing that. But with the mean, it's not possible that you can get a proper view. So they go for the median. So median is what? The median is actually takes the middle value of an ordered array. Ordered means either they are arranged in ascending or the descending part. By default, everything is for ascending. So with the middle value, you can say, okay, this is the middle value. So that may be taken as the nature of the data. Okay. But again, with extremely large or extremely small value, this also can affect. Means you see that most of the students in the semester in a certain paper, most of the students are getting 40 to 50 range. You are taking that. Yes, there are students who are scoring less than 20 maybe. And there are students who are scoring out of 190, 92, 93. But most of them in the range of 40 to 50. So what will happen? For extremely large or extremely low value, again, that's not actually beneficial. Or you cannot get the proper idea. What about the mode? Mode says that it will give you the idea about the most frequent value in the data. Mode takes the value which indicates the most frequent data. Okay. So with the most frequent data, you can get easily the nature of the data set. Now, how much or what kind of data or what is the type of data that we can decide with the central tendency. But how much your these measurements are good, that you can try to understand with the method of dispersion. And with the concept of variance and standard deviation, you can get that idea. So variance is what? That is the average square difference from the mean. Average square difference from the mean. Standard deviation is what? Square root of the variance. Fine. So these are the formulas for that. Covariance. What is covariance? Signifies the direction of linear relationship between two variables. How much one variable is related to other, that is decided with the direction of linear relationship between the two variables. Okay. So how much one element or one variable or one attribute is related to other, that can be decided with the concept of covariance. Correlation, that is basically covariance of the terms divided by their standard deviation. Correlation is not giving you any, means correlation value is varying in a range of -1 to +1. If you get that it is +1 or near to the positive value, that means the relationship is positive. Means if you change here, there will be also, means if you increase this value, there will be increase. Correlation value is negative. Means what? That if you change some value and the corresponding value will be decreased. And 0 means they are not correlated. They are not correlated. So what we have studied now, that what is this? The dispersion. We need to apply the dispersion measures to check how much, means from the central tendency we may get an idea of the data set, that what kind of data it is having, but how much it is true, means how much it is okay. Dispersion means how things are being spreaded over the set. So with the variance, that how much difference is there, with the standard deviation, we can measure the dispersion. With the covariance, we can get the idea of the linear relationship of two variables. So every x bar is the average of the x and y bar is the average of the y. X of I means each of the x value and each of y I is the each of y value, and they are taking the difference. See, they are just taking the difference, average value with the mean value, difference with the original value, and then divided by n and all. So they are getting the relationship, that how much related and all, and whether positively related or negatively related, that is decided with the correlation factor. Okay. So if 0 is the correlation factor, that means those two attributes are nowhere related. Mane, for example, say if you say that তো সামনের পিভিআর হলে ধরে নে একটা অদ্ভুত রিজিওনাল ল্যাঙ্গুয়েজের সিনেমা এসেছে, যার কোনো ইংলিশ সাবটাইটেল নেই, তো সেটা কম বেশি তুই কিছুই বুঝতে পারবি না। বা এই তোরা যখন পড়াশোনা না করে এক্সাম দিতে যাস, কোশ্চেনটা দেখে তো বুঝতে পারবি না কোন সাবজেক্টে, তো ওটা তোর কোরিলেশন ফ্যাক্টর ওই সাবজেক্ট বা কোশ্চেনটার সাথে সম্পূর্ণরূপে জিরো, তুই কিছুই জানিস না ওটা, তুই তো জানিসই না, মানে তুই লিখলে ওটার পজিটিভ বা নেগেটিভ অ্যান্সার কি হবে তুই জানিস বা জানিস না, কোনোটাই প্রুফ হবে না, কারণ তুই তো বুঝতেই পারছিস না ওটা কোন সাবজেক্টে কোশ্চেন, সেটা হচ্ছে কোরিলেশন আর কি, কোরিলেশন ফ্যাক্টর তখন জিরো। ঠিক আছে, তাই হোক, এই যেমন তোরা আমার সাথে জিরো কোরিলেশন ফ্যাক্টর মেনটেন করছিস, আমি যাই বলি তোদের কিছুই যায় আসে না, আমি পাগল, আমি বকছি। ঠিক আছে, সো these are the issues, means these are the things, and everything or every measurement, every calculation can be tends to perfect, cannot be 100% perfect maybe, but if imperfection occurs, that due to the impurious data sets, there may be some missing data, there may be some outliers data, মানে আমি I'm just trying to measure the what age group of 18 to 23, this age group of people, what kind of dresses they are buying or what kind of colors people are buying. I'm trying to analyze that. Now, while we are trying to do this, suddenly we got the data of few people whose age is say above 55. Now, if that kind of things are happening, what will be the result? Now, things will be mixed. They are of something else, but when we will analyze all these things, the result may differ if I take everything. So that is the outlier, which is not in the same layer or same pattern or same category or missing value. So to do this, we use different methods. We try to replace them or estimate those missing value. We first of all we'd like to remove the outliers, but for the missing value we try that for most of the people are getting this, so better replace with this value. Now that may be good, that may be bad. So these are the thing. Next, again, two more concepts: hypothesis, null hypothesis, hypothesis space, all this. The function which is mapping your input to the output that you are using for your regression, classification, for whatever, that is your hypothesis. Now, it can be one, it can be more than one, means more than one solution or more than so hypothesis means that is a function which describes or which is the best possible solution to find or to map your inputs to the output. With comprising of many hypotheses, that makes the hypothesis space. And what about the null hypothesis? We start with the fact that this is wrong, and or we start with the fact that the null hypothesis, that is actually means we start with the fact, okay, this will happen, but with some statement and all these things, finally we prove that this will be wrong. That is the null. Fine, means we actually, it's like those geometrical problem that we have done in the school life, that we assume, let us assume this will happen, and after that we will prove that this will never happen. That is your null hypothesis concept. Okay, so this is a space. The example is taken, each line you may consider, they can be considered as hypothesis. Say this one, divide most of the blue this side, this one, or you can use this line, But obviously a little bit error is there. Here is also two negative symbol, red color, that is here three symbols are there. So these are the possible hypothesis. So this, if you use all the things, that makes your hypothesis space. And the final thing that you can, it's one of them you can take for your solution. Bias, that you can see difference between average prediction value with the correct. Bias is basically your error with the predicted and the desired value. That's all. So these are the basics of your ML based things. Yes, I will give one PPT where you will get some other algorithms idea and all. So in case of other facts that what are the, say, decision tree, say linear regression, that's used for prediction, so regression problem. Logistic regression is for classification. Decision tree can be used for regression and the classification. Random forest, which is an improved version of the multiple decision trees, which makes the forest and can be used in a better way for doing the calculation. Those who have done the decision tree calculation, they knew that if you want to do the decision tree based calculations, it takes huge effort. But for random forest, what they do, na say, they randomly choose the decision making parameter and form the trees and check which can give the better result. Based on the maximum board, they are concluding the result. Okay. Now there is some, with maximum board, there is some bagging, boosting methods. Means those are basically the trial and error method. They check that in which particular hypothesis, which particular data sets, it's giving the low bias. Low bias is very much required, means the error must be low. Fine. Next, if you go for the unsupervised learning, that involves basically the clustering. Now, if you go for K means clustering or hand, and in clustering, what is our basic target? In clustering, our basic target is that within the cluster, distance between the points should be minimum, and cluster between two cluster head should be maximum. Fine. That is the thing. Next, there are many processes are there. If you have studied earlier, you may go through. Otherwise, the points are written as much as you can read. If I talk about the neural network, that is high standard methods. Whenever we are analyzing the situations in normal machine learning based prediction or the classification algorithms, we never had the tendency that we can go back and check. But in case of neural networks, if you go for mainly deep learning methods and all, there the recurrent neural network, where you will find the way that it will go and check that where the error it is, and they move accordingly, and they can achieve it will continue till it's achieve its desirable goal. That is the facility mainly of neural network. And for high dimensional data, the simple algorithms cannot be used, so they can be fed in a multiple variations and multiple possibilities of data. When the data set dimension increases in a high dimension, then normal algorithms cannot give you the proper result. That's why they use the neural network based things. Okay. Next, if you consider the feed forward or feedback network, so that is actually the prior to your RNN network. So where feed forward means that every time in neural network, what happens that most of the neural network consists of multiple layers. Each layer takes the input from the previous, each layer takes the output from the previous layer, and based on that it forward it to the final destination or final to the user or the final outcome layer. Now, if it's just move forward the result, it's feed forward. But if it takes back its error and try to modify or try to improve, then it can be your, it is actually facilitated with the back propagation. So back propagation is this, that it's finding that it's not desirable, so it's going back. Now how they work in neural network, there are multiple, you can say it's kind of a complete graph where every node is connected to every other layer graph. No, so they are, every node is having some importance or priorities. First time you have given some priorities. If it's not giving you the desired result, you need to change their weightage or the priority. That is the thing that is done in the neural network, and mainly in the, when you are using the back propagation. In neural network, one very common question is, what does it understand by, what you understand by the perceptron? In case of perceptron, what happened? In case of perceptron, it is basically single layer neural network. Means one input, one output, and in between only one layer is there. That is the basic of your neural network, perceptron. In artificial neural network, that is the entry point of neural network, that may be single layer, which is called perceptron. It may be of multiple layer, feed forward, back propagation, all these things may be there. Next, if I consider the convolutional neural network, that is generally used for your image processing related work. It involves the mathematical convolution operation, and based on that, it actually identify the very important area of your image, so that the entire image may not be used. It can be used in a smaller version or the compressed version without loss of the important information. The convolution operation with different layer pooling, it gets that particular or important info. It gives the importance to the important information only. Now, if I go for the RNN, it includes one kind of memory that is called LSTM. So what it do, the LSTM is basically used for word processing, text processing, all these language processing related activities. So for that activities, they do step-by-step procedure. And if I consider the natural language processing, for CSC student, that will be in the 7th semester, but as of now, you can understand the computer language needs separate instruction. But if you want, if your machine need to understand our instruction, the human instruction, then we need to understand the natural language. Then you have studied the automata, the way those grammars are being formed, natural language processing is based on that fact. It will form the grammar. It forms the sentence, it checks the construction of the sentence, and then they try to find the meaning of the thing. They do processing, they do sentiment analysis. It's generally, it may be with two mode, happy or sad, good or bad, or for a data set, it may be multiple mode or multiple sentiment points may be there, and things are being analyzed. So where it is used, say people are going for a movie, they are seeing, and how their reactions are going on, whether the people are liking the movie or not liking the movie. It's, you may say, I will press the like button and it will be done. No, it's not counting the like. It's about that you are writing. Suppose you are writing a review about a hotel of a particular place. So with some specific word that you are writing, that from the balcony you are getting the good view, or you are liking that bad food, or the AC was not working. So what kind of words you are using, analyzing, by analyzing those, the NLP find the result out of that. Okay. So I'm giving you the PPTs. If you can clear the basic level in your aptitude and coding and the interview phase, then only you will be asked about this area. Or those who are already appearing or thinking that you are enough capable that you may get the opportunity, please study email things at least. And the package name, random, you need to import random forest, what are the package name and all you have done earlier also. And also I am giving the scikit-learn material, hands-on scikit-learn book. So if you go through this, that will help you in the interview. Fine. And another thing, just a minute, I should just show you. Although if in general in online interview part, that particular group discussions generally not happen, but nobody can say that what will happen and what will not happen. So basics rules are there. These are the rules that simple rules. Keep the eye contact, avoid the haphazardness, means generally GD happens in a round table format. At the first iteration, you are supposed to introduce yourself. If you are starting, you start with a positive attitude, and off the track, do not tell something, means you are very good in English speaking, so you are speaking anything illogical, no. Then you pass it to the next people. They should also, means everyone should speak. If some controversial topic is there, you may say for, means in a support of it or against of it, that's okay, but do not make a haphazard communication that person one said, then suddenly person five says, then person three. No, make a order that how you should follow. Always try to maintain the track, listen others to carefully, means it should not become a chaos. It should be a proper group discussion. And if everything is offline, even online, if something is being done, then you have to turn on your camera. So be careful about all your expressions when others are speaking, and as well as the dress that you are wearing for online or offline, whatever it is, wear the proper decent formal dress. Okay. You need to speak, you need to establish your point, as well as you have to listen to others, and you need to give the opportunity to others speak. Study well, give rest to your mind, don't be restless, practice properly. Obviously, you will be successful. Do not panic. There will be multiple opportunities. Just prepare yourself, appear for those exams, and obviously you will get the job. Believe in yourself. Don't think that my all 5 friends have already placed, so what will happen to me? I may be unsuccessful. Don't think this way. You can. You have to think that you can. Then only you can. Okay. So DS materials are already being shared, and these things I will share. So, and you have all the previous materials also when you have studied these subjects. For your batch, it may be little bit tricky as the marks is very high, and as well as that in your mark sheets it's written that you have studied deep learning, you have studied AIML and all those things, so you may get questions from there. So at least prepare about the basics that I have discussed. Thank you. Best wishes. Thank you. You may leave. We will post that the next class in which link will be taken. We will post later. Fine. You can leave now. Thank you.